Hello, the game has started and my opponent's opened with Zitty. I don't think I have a bingo here, even with an ing ending. No. So, what to do? Could play flan. Not a bad rack leave. 22, yeah, I'll go with this. Over again through the eye. That remains available. Do I have a 7? Not that I can see. What about through the E? No. The L? No. Okay, so over gain. Oh, not a word. Don't know why I thought it was. Over gain. What to do with the V? Could play VAG or GOV. I think I'll go with GOV for 19. Not a great pickup. Draw another 2 E's to join the one that I already had. Is there something in this? Latina. Unlikely to... Oh, it has remained available. So that was handy. I draw the J and a few other clunky consonants. Benge, it would be good through an N. Feely. Not sure about Feely. Orloy and could play jib, I guess. 30. A little bit better here, but still a little clunky. C, G and Y not fantastic together. Any hot spots for the Y? I could just play Y, E. Or Yeg. Pitchers, okay. Opponent bingos and takes the lead. Just looking at ways of getting rid of the Y but scoring at the same time. Could just play I. It feels a bit weak for 18. Is there a way to get rid of the G and the Y? Yeah, I think I'll go with this for 22. Klug, not quite bingo territory, but close. Opponent plays G there. Now I do have an I, and I have Litu. That's one way of getting rid of the U. Do I have Igloo, but that doesn't quite work. I have Sig hanging on to the U. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Alunite. Untailed onto a D, but Alunite, or am I mixing that up? Yeah. Bay, tenurial through an R. Hopefully opponent plays down onto the trip and creates some floaters, but Alunite and Bay should be a good spot for the bingo. $69. Wow, Alunite almost plays underneath Latina, starting at 13H, but fails at ER. ERI, no good. Opponent taking some time with this move. Takes my spot, but provides another one. Not as good as the previous spot. Much more volatile, but still a bingo. Bit clunky, this rack. What will opponent respond with? Pianism. Okay, 42-point play. So he's just a small margin behind now. M takes a Y as well as another M. So that could be a hefty score there. Gopura is good, but doesn't seem to work. Just wondering if I have a 5-letter play beginning with a vowel, something like upgrow. That looks alright for 34. Now, I do have 2 A's and the W. Otherwise, a pretty good rack. Hour would play quite nicely there, but that's not going to remain available. Oh, it does remain available. My opponent gets 67 points. Wow. So, what about hour for 40? I'm liking that. But I'm also looking at Wed for 48. Wow. It's tempting. What to do? Now takes a T. So, yeah, I think I'll opt for the safer spot, 40. Stander and Starned. Don't see those playing anywhere. Now, what about this U? Undersat. No, it's not gonna fit. Opponent scores well with Koa, takes the lead. I've got Stead here for 37. That doesn't give back much to opponent. But this U still tugging at the back of my mind, yeah? Unstead. No. Let's just have a quick look at the U here. Daunters. T-E-R. Daunters. Transued. That'll work. Almost missed that. Transued for 72. Got T-Y-E here for 48. Duty would score fairly well as oops. Duty 36. Opponent's got a TH ending word here, so he's got north. Oh, he's gone with moth. Interesting. Got tide here for 55. Oh, Yex. What am I thinking of? Yex. So duty looks best, I'd say, for 36. Yeah, I think this is fine. And opponent's got 4 consonants. He won't be going out. So said and die looks fine. Eared and DE. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking of there with Yex taking an E. Ding and D. 13. $16. Any advance on 16? No, I think 16 would be best. Would and no, that doesn't work. Opponent looking at some options with NRRT. And yeah, I think said is append possibly as well. 14, but yeah, said for 16 I think is best. Just see if opponent is still around. Appears to, okay, he's played and I'll go out with said. So that's the end of the game, 456 to 393. Thank my opponent. Let's see what we missed. So, opponent had Tozy in a few spots, went with Zitty. Flagrant. Oh, that was a flagrant mistake. Anyway, 64 points gone amiss. Flagrant, everyday word. So ashamed to have missed that. Went with flan for 22. So opponent had fellow from the F-E-L-L-O-E. Wasn't sure you could spell it that way. Went with feel. Now no bingo here. I don't know why I thought overlane is good, but I talked myself into overgain, but must forget that as a word. Gov seems fine for 19. Now opponent's got inglobes for 36, no bingo. Goes with lobes, and Latina for 66. Enameler as well through the L. That would have scored the same. Venereal, okay, 66. And generale through the L. And venereal onto the L. So there were a few bingos. Tenebrae. And let's see if there were any others. Yeah, that was it. So Latina was fine because it got doubled. 66. And now opponent, vowel heavy, needs a T for Sortoya. No T available. Goes with Orloy and then jibe for 42. Wow. GYBE at 3K. Oh, globes. That's nice. GYBE does take an S and a D, but would have been worth doing for 42 points, that's for sure. Jib for 30, suboptimal, but decent. And now opponent's got a choice of bingos. Totchers for 90 would have been a big score at 2H. Getting the C tripled, yeah. Totchers. He goes with pitchers. And now I've got Yite for 32 at 11I. That's down here. Yite. Just slotting it in between Gov and Latina. But I went with... Oh, wait a sec. There was Egoity through the O and the T. Egoity for 20. But, yeah, I went with Yi for 22. Opponent's got Chi for 23, which was the optimal play, but a little bit volatile. Luckily for me, I did have an I. Sig simming best from that position. Now, opponent's got a few average scores with this rack. Goes with Avo. Takes my spot for the bingo, but provides another one. Alunite for 63. And then Pianism, top score. Nice find by opponent. Upgrow for 38, but I played it at B10 down, but 13J. Upgrow, underlapping Latina. Okay. Yeah, an extra 4 points. Would have been nice. And then also grown up through the N. Grown up, getting the P doubled. So that was fine. And then opponent, a 67-point power play underneath Latina. And now I've got Awa for 40. And I don't know why I kept thinking that Yex could take an E. But it obviously doesn't. Awa for 40. Now opponent's got Koa for 40. So that cancels out my good score there. And Transued, the only playable bingo. So delighted to have spotted that. But I wonder what would have happened if... Yeah, because Yex doesn't take anything. Might have been interesting. Orad was the next highest score for 22. A good rack leave, but L4. Orad and EDH. Yeah, it would have only drawn me more or less level. And then... Yeah, it would have been very close, but I think Transued definitely gave me a nudge. Now, 44-point play for month, that was the one that I had mentioned during the game. MONTH, so wouldn't have been that easy to score underneath of month. Actually, I did have a Y, and an N does take the Y. So Teddy, T-E-D-Y, I think is good. So that would have been a big score if opponent played month. Anyway, didn't spot month and went with moth. And then duty for 36, but ye dread through the R. That's a word I do know. Ye dread is good as well with an A. So yeah, that would have been nice. but Duty scored quite well, and then opponent played and I went out with Said, which was best for 16. So pretty good game there. Close until that final bingo. Hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.